Speaking of an oldie but a goodie, who knew this story was still out there? Tom Brady, apparently he's got a weekly newsletter. Why wouldn't he? Like he doesn't have enough going on. He's got a weekly newsletter, and he spoke about his split from the Patriots, more specifically, Bill Belichick, and said the following, quote, "After 20 years together, a natural tension had developed between where Coach Belichick and I were headed in our own careers and where the Patriots were moving as a franchise. It was the kind of tension that could only be resolved by some kind of split or one of us reassessing our priorities. Me and Coach Belichick, we did what we loved and competed for 20 years together, but I wasn't going to sign another contract in New England, even if I wanted to play until I was 50 based on how things had gone. I wasn't going to sign up for more of it." End quote from Tom Brady in his newsletter about the split with Bill Belichick, which I would just say this. I am shocked that this is still being discussed, that this is still a storyline in the NFL.
Well, he will always be asked about it. I mean, it's the greatest run of a coach and a player in the history of the NFL, and maybe some would say in all of sports. Why now? It was the first thing I thought about. Like, what made right now the time to put that in your newsletter and push that out there? And listen, I don't think that comes as some type of military secret surprise, right? It's not like, oh, you went into the vaults and went in and grabbed out information that no one knew. I mean, I think everybody assumed that the relationship was, kind of going the direction of what Tom Brady, kind of expressed in his newsletter. And those things happen. Those things happen. They happen in personal relationships at home. They happen in work relationships in the workplace. I mean, these things happen. And so there's no reason to take a negative approach to what he's saying or anything like that. But my whole thing is, you could have said that while it was going on, right? Like, why wait until now to say it? Like, okay, it's safe. The coast is clear. What's the reasoning for now? I almost feel like a guy like Tom Brady's got so much going on, and there would have to be a reason as to why he specifically released that in particular. That's what I would say is newsworthy. What's the setup? What's it setting up for? Is there a documentary coming out? Is there a book coming? Is there what is it? What is connected to that made it relevant for Tom Brady to want to release that statement in his newsletter?
Yeah. I don't know. It was part of, he's got different sections. This was called Reflection as part of the section in his newsletter. And just felt like, hey, maybe I'm viewing it from a different lens at this point in my life. And maybe it's better to.
And it could be that simple. It really could be that simple, to be honest.
It's also, look, they were together for 20 years. Like, it's not.
I just celebrated 20. It ain't easy.
And I'm sure it's been, just.
Yeah, it ain't easy.
Been simple the entire time. And no issues.
That's a different type of setup. But, you know what I mean? That's not. Some would say it is an employer, but I mean, it's not 20 with an employer. It's been 20 with the situation.
Like, when Shaq and Kobe broke up, when that was when the Lakers, they like one of the big discussions afterwards was, man, think about how many more they could have won had they not split. And that was because Shaq went and won another one. Kobe went and won two more. Like, there was still tread on the tires, even though Shaq, was towards the back end of his career at that point. There was still tread on the tires that you could win more. Mm-hmm. That I understand why there would always be a discussion. This one, dude, you had 20 years. Like, there was a lot done. You had 20 years. I know Brady went on and won one in Tampa Bay, but New England didn't have the roster that Tampa Bay did at that point. That's just a fact. So I look at it and go, that's just the natural course of evolution, if you will. And they got to a point in their relationship where it was just not tenable anymore. and he went to a place where he could compete for a Super Bowl again, and he did so, and he won. Like, it feels pretty cut and dry to me. I don't know that there's anything salacious to it, to be honest.
Yeah, I don't think I don't feel like there's any new information that would have surfaced that says, okay, this is why Tom Brady left. I think that we all knew that the Patriot way was the Patriot way. And we tried to figure out, was the Patriot way the Bill Belichick and Tom Brady way, or was it the Bill Belichick way, or was it the Tom Brady way? I would assume whoever you're asking would dictate what that answer would be. You know, some will say one, some will say the other, some will say both. I mean, that's how that relationship unfolded and how it finished. But make no mistake about it. I mean, they had a brilliant run together. And when you have so much brilliance connected to what it is that you're doing and what you've accomplished, that's always going to be the question if things don't end in that storybook manner. It didn't end in a storybook manner. It ended in a way where, you know, there was contention there. Is that the right word? My brain is kind of asleep today. It was a little contentious. And so obviously when you've had that much success and you see things kind of unraveling the way that they are between two people that were the main figures, the main characters in what played out, you know, during the duration of that time, you're going to have a whole lot of conversations. And, you know, for what it's worth, I mean, I still have reflective moments over my career. You know, I think that to have reflection over what you've done and where you've been is natural. I think it's necessary. I think it's responsible. And I think it's pretty cool that Tom Brady shares it in his newsletter and his you know, in that certain section. So, but I don't think it's a military secret, Jonas.
No. Here's what I do know, though. There's no one-size-fits-all mattress.
Well, that's true.
At Mattress Firm, their sleep experts will match you with the right one. So upgrade to a premium mattress during the Upgrade Your Sleep sale and sleep at night.
Way to go, Brady. That's a great read.
Thanks, man.
No worries.
Coming up next here, though, we are going
really
to.
Sound like that?
I don't know. It's my best meathead impersonation.
Okay.
Coming up next here, though, we are going to dust off an oldie but a goodie. For the first time in a long time, it's Would You Rather, starring Lee DeLapp, right here on FSR.